All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, Floyd Mayweather Jr. does a Floyd Mayweather Jr. and diminishes the win of Terence Crawford. Something that you should expect from Floyd Mayweather, considering that Floyd Mayweather is one of the biggest egomaniacs that there is in the sport of boxing. Let's talk about what Floyd had to say about the performance of Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, I'm going to have a lot of fun talking about this because what goes around comes around. And I knew eventually it was going to come around to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Sooner or later. It wound up happening sooner than I thought it would, but it is officially happening. Somebody, Terence Crawford specifically, did something in his career that puts him on par with Floyd Mayweather Jr., and you know Floyd Mayweather Jr. doesn't like that. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is one of the biggest egos in the sport, so much so that he could not find a way to give Muhammad Ali credit as being a top 5 fighter and claimed that Roberto Duran sits above Muhammad Ali, right? Why? Because Floyd wants to be better than Muhammad Ali. He completely redid his image when he became Money Mayweather to pretty much copy from calling himself the GOAT, calling himself TBE, right? Whole thing. Very disrespectful of Muhammad Ali when he was coming up, when after Floyd Mayweather Jr. wound up being at the top of the sport. So now that Terence Crawford has firmly placed himself at the top of boxing, and not just as the pound for pound fighter right now, many people are saying, hey, shouldn't he be considered one of the greatest fighters of all time? Isn't this a realistic conversation we can have? So what does that do? That butts Terence Crawford right up against Floyd Mayweather. So when Floyd was asked a series of questions, right? Because Floyd has a fight coming up. I do believe it maybe in January. I think it may be in January or early 2026, I believe is the time frame, where Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going to be fighting Mike Tyson in I believe this is going to be an exhibition, but he also said that he would consider coming out and putting his record on the line in an official fight. I would assume that would be somebody like a Manny Pacquiao or something like that. Regardless, when he was asked about Terence Crawford and Canelo, and he said, do you think Canelo Alvarez is the amount of time that, you think that he was old? Do you think that he was still at his peak when he fought Terence? And basically what Floyd Mayweather Jr. allowed to be considered was the fact that, after you get 60 fights and, you have all those fights, there's a lot of wear and tear on your body. So absolutely. Canelo Alvarez could be washed up when he beat Terence Crawford. When he fought Terence Crawford. So what does that do for Floyd Mayweather? What does that do for Terence Crawford's win over Canelo Alvarez? It diminishes it. And you have Floyd, who beat Canelo Alvarez when Canelo Alvarez was young. Canelo Alvarez was a undefeated champion at the time. So if you look at Floyd's win and Terence Crawford's win, you see one where Canelo was fresh, the other one was Canelo was old. You have Floyd, who I think had an easier time, and no, that's hard to say, but he had an easier time with Canelo Alvarez than Terence did, even though, Terence handled him up just the same way, pretty much. However, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is diminishing the win of Terence Crawford in that regard. So is it fair for Floyd Mayweather Jr. to say that? Absolutely it is. I'm doing a Floyd. Is it fair for Floyd to say that Canelo might have had more wear and tear and been done by the time he got to Terence Crawford? Absolutely. It is fair for him to say. But is it fair to say that that Floyd Mayweather Jr. got his own personal reasons out there for maybe hinting that that was the case? Now, in my personal opinion, I don't think that Floyd has any real worry as far as like what his legacy is going to be or how people are going to think about Floyd in the long term. However, I love it because I knew it was going to happen to Floyd eventually when there was going to be somebody that came up that did something and they're going to start comparing him to Floyd and they're going to start giving the young guy or the new guy more credit than they gave Floyd because that's how time works. You don't remember the fights that Floyd had as well as you're going to remember the ones that are fresh in your face. Similar to the situation with Muhammad Ali and Floyd Mayweather Jr., where Floyd is saying stuff about Ali like, well, he lost to an 8-0 fighter. Yeah, that was an 8-0 Olympic gold medalist, and Muhammad Ali had Parkinson's. Okay? And he had already been in the league. He had already been fighting professionally for like almost 20 years. So you don't want to give him any slack for the fact that he took fights late in his career and lost one late in his career. But we're supposed to give you a bunch of accolades and praise despite the fact that you never got to 60 fights. You never fought long enough to run into somebody like a Leon Spinks or somebody like that and have a bad night. Because Floyd Mayweather's career at the end was so calculated that he made sure that that never happened. He wanted to be the one to break Rocky Marciano's undefeated record, even though that undefeated record really was just for heavyweights. That's what the big thing about Rocky Marciano was, that he was 49-0 as a heavyweight. But Floyd fought a lot of great fighters for sure, but he overlooked what the people before him did, and that's going to happen to him now, and which is why I believe that he's doing these exhibitions to stay relevant. Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson is going to keep his name buzzing, and if Floyd comes back out and has another fight, then he will probably against Manny Pacquiao, if Manny Pacquiao is able to get his hands on a WBA belt, on a belt at 147, which I would not doubt that he'd be able to do. But anyway, man, this has been a fun time watching boxing all of these years, man, and to see how these things play out. You had Oscar De La Hoya hating on Floyd like there was no tomorrow because Floyd was passing up Oscar De La Hoya. At least Floyd ain't straight up hating on Terence Crawford. He's giving Terence Crawford his flowers, but at the same time, man, you kind of get that sense that, Floyd is feeling like, hey, man, these guys are getting too close to me. Hey, man, that's what happens when you live too much for your sport, bro. Eventually, at some point in time, Floyd's going to have to walk away from the sport, and there's going to be a young guy, probably somebody even younger than Terence Crawford, that's going to come up and wind up doing everything that Floyd Mayweather Jr. did and more, provided that we still have American boxing in place. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.